Hi, boys and girls. I'm going to read another one of my favorite books. I like to read this at the beginning of the school year, but it's called the Snatchabook, and it says, Who's Stealing All the Stories? And this is written by Helen Docherty and Thomas Docherty, the Snatchabook. One dark, dark night in Burrow Down, a rabbit named Eliza Brown found a book and settled down when a Snatchabook flew into town. I wonder what a Snatchabook is. What do you think? In every house, in every bed, a bedtime book was being read. And if you look at all those little holes in the tree, there's families reading the stories. Tales of dragons spitting flames, witches playing spooky games, pirates on the seven seas, princesses trying to sleep on peas. And every child in every bed listened hard to each word said. Eliza Brown at number 3 was reading quite contently. Her curtains opened just a chink. She barely had the chance to blink. Her storybook just disappeared. Eliza found that very weird. The little owls on Mommy's lap were quite surprised to hear a tap against their bedroom window glass. Tap, tap. The noise came really fast. Before they'd even look around, the book was gone without a sound. The wind blew wild across the sky. The smallest squirrel heard a cry. "What's that?" she whispered to her dad. But then, and this was really bad, before they had a chance to look, she lost her very favorite book. And so it went, night after night. Books disappeared from left to right. 5 books here and 6 books there. The shelves began to look quite bare. In Burrow Down, the rumor spread of book thieves under every bed. Eliza Brown, at number 3, was keen to solve the mystery. She wanted to solve where all these books were going. She planned one night to lie in wait and use a pile of books as bait. Long hours passed without a peep. She nearly fell fast asleep, when suddenly Eliza heard a flap of wings. A bat? A bird? Eliza saw a shadow loom, enormous, right across her room. What kind of monster could it be? Eliza thought. You don't scare me. And yet her heart was beating fast. She'd have to face that thief at last. So doesn't that shadow look really, really big? She threw the window open wide and shouted to the thing outside, "Stop stealing all our books right now! Give them back! I don't care how!" "I'm sorry," came a little voice. "I really am, but I had no choice." Eliza looked down in surprise. She couldn't quite believe her eyes. "So who are you? And what's your name?" The creature hung his head in shame. He mumbled with a mournful look, "I'm just a little Snatchabook." Eliza nodded solemnly. She sat the creature on her knee. "You can't just come and help yourself to every book on every shelf." A tear rolled down the creature's eye, and softly he began to cry. "I know it's wrong, but can't you see I've got no one to read to me?" Eliza sighed. He looked so sad. If he just had a mom or dad to read him stories every night, well, then he might behave all right. I think Eliza has a really good heart. That very night, they hatched a plan, and so the Snatchabook began. To give back all the books he'd picked, Eliza Brown was very strict. Look at her standing there. Then, trying hard to prove himself, he stacked them neatly on each shelf. And when he made his full amends, Eliza called on all her friends and told them how he'd worked all night to turn a wrong into a right. And now each night in Burrow Down, as darkness falls upon the town, in every house and every book, a bedtime book is being read. And if you take a closer look, you might just see a Snatchabook perching happily on someone's bed, listening hard to each word read. So what do you think Eliza Brown told Snatchabook what would happen if Snatchabook returned all of the books to the kids in the town? What do you think was the deal? All right, I'm going to ask you next week if you figured out what the deal was. All right, bye-bye. Hope you liked the story of the Snatchabook. Bye-bye.